Okay, so first video on the channel. This video is the first video of me documenting my trades. The purpose of this channel is purely just for me to journal my trades, look back, analyze my wins and losses, and just ultimately try and improve my trading to become profitable. I'm not profitable yet. I want to be, and I plan to be profitable soon. And aim for a funded account as well to grow capital, but ultimately I'm not really going to focus on growing the YouTube channel to get subscribers. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to like half-see try. If it happens, but this channel is purely for documenting my trades. So watch if you want, but don't feel obligated to. And if you have any tips, if someone does end up watching this, I'll be happy to take the tips, because I am trying to be profitable. So yeah, so let's just get straight into it. Didn't take any trades today. Oh, wait, before I jump into it, actually, I'm probably going to either do a video every day recapping the daily trades I take, or just do a weekly one at the end of the week. We'll see. I'm not really going to edit these videos. I'm just going to do it in one long video, really. So yeah, we'll jump into it. So first things first, I didn't take any trades today, but I think I maybe could have. I did already start doing this video, but we ended up losing Wi-Fi and then I had to start again. But anyway, so we had liquidity here and liquidity here. Price, I think, definitely obviously broke this one, but just tapped this liquidity here, and these were hourly liquidity. Yes, hourly, they were the hourly wicks. So, when price took these out, I got a little excited, we'll say. Obviously trading with no motion, of course, but so price took out these. That's a big thing. Price took out hourly liquidity, and my strategy is liquidity, order block, equilibrium, breaker structure. That's ideally my strategy that I've been going with for a little bit. So when price broke this liquidity, I drew in the order block, high to the low. I've drawn that wrong, but there we go. So price, we had breaker structure instantly to the upside, probably a little too soon, and we didn't break. We did break outside of the equilibrium, but we didn't push back into the order block at all. We broke out of equilibrium, as you can see, and eventually we did come back into the order block, but as we can see, price, I think, had already rallied too high, and when it did come back in, it had a bit of a lull, terrible attempt of going up, and then we broke structure to the downside inside the order block, and then completely invalidated the order block with a candle close into the downside completely through it, and then we came into this 5-minute and 15-minute bullish fair value gap. This is the 15-minute marked out. The 5-minute I haven't marked out, but we can see obviously it's here to here. Price came into this, got a little confused, and then ultimately broke structure to the downside again, and then we'll talk about that in a minute. So I didn't take the trade because it didn't have the confluences I need. Personally, the way I've been going for the last little bit is I've been wanting at least 3 confluences to enter a trade, at least. If 4, I'm much happier with 4 confluences, but I've been getting at least 3 confluences. And I'm not sure, I did look quickly, but I think I might have been able to enter a trade to the downside. Slightly not going with the strategy of liquidity sweep, blah, 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 but still technically would have had 3 confluences. So first things first, price clearly ended up trying to go for a trend reversal. Been in an uptrend for a while. Definitely been in a bit of an uptrend. And then when we had this, what have I done? When we had this higher low and then a struggle, and then we obviously going to make a lower low, that should have been a indication of a trend reversal, So that's one confluence we could say. Clearly we're losing momentum to the upside. Then it shows it obviously here as well with the lack of momentum to fill more orders to continue up. And then when we broke structure inside of here, won't count the trend reversal really, because that's not part of my strategy, and I don't think it did actually reverse really, did it? If we look, kind of, yeah, it definitely did actually, but we're not going to count that because it's not really part of my strategy at all. So we had lack of momentum to the upside, break of structure, which I'm going to count to the downside inside this order block. That's one confluence. Then we dismiss the order block is the second confluence. And then the third can be break of structure again to the downside and invalidating. Well, hold on. We were on the 1 minute with these wicks, we would have invalidated this bullish fair value gap. That could have been the third confluence, definitely, and then should have entered on that invalidation maybe to the downside. But if that wasn't enough, we could have ultimately entered off this break of structure again to the downside. And I drew these out. This was a hourly bullish fair value gap. No, wait, hold on. Sorry. An hourly BP, a 3-minute BP, and a 15-minute BP. Hourly, 3-minute, 15, all BP. So I was confident the price was going to smash these. And as we can see, just barely reacted off the 15-minute one. Like, come on. So we should have entered off that, our third confluence of dismissing this bullish fair value gap. Should have put our first take profit, maybe the first BP halfway. Then maybe the second one could have been on this BP to the top like that. Would have been a 1 to 7 restore board. If we drew, probably could have done a stop losses like that really. Would have been a 1 to 5. So that's a trade I definitely could have entered. I didn't see it. I was too hung up on looking at my strategy, which I don't know if that's the thing I should have been doing. Is only, I know you should always stick to your strategy, but I see, obviously I watch traders on YouTube, and lots of them sometimes do also go off a little bit, especially TJR. I've noticed that he does have a strategy, but he does also look for some trades like this where the confluences, even if it isn't directly in line with his strategy. But yeah, that's definitely a trade I could have taken, but I didn't, so whatever. And I didn't have the opportunity again to do, what I like to do with my strategy of liquidity sweep, blah, 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 blah. Didn't actually give me the opportunity again. News came out, as you can tell. Here, look at that. That's why you don't trade during news, we know that. So let's say after news. I think, let's clear this for now, remove all drawings, because it's getting messy. If we go to the 3-minute, ooh, price wouldn't have wicked out that, but it would have wicked out this. So, we would have had a 3-minute liquidity sweep. That's probably an hourly one again, actually. Hourly liquidity sweep to the upside. What time was this? When news came out too, I knew I wasn't going to really trade too much of that, and I had some things to do as well, so it is what it is. But let's have a look. We swap liquidity. Okay. Let's maybe scale to the 1 minute to look for the high to the low. 1 minute, we got the high to the low. Like so. Let's go back to the 5-minute. Yeah, so on the 5-minute, we would have had see, that's really terrible price action, that is. Look at that price action. But, so probably wouldn't have been the trade to take, especially because we wouldn't have even come out of equilibrium either. So, yeah, I don't think there was any other trades today that would have stuck with my strategy at all. So, in a way, I'm kind of glad I didn't take a trade today, because yeah, that one might have paid off. It would have paid off, but was it really worth it? No, because the market's built to beat you, so we want to stick to our rules as much as we can. And it's been working great for me, the previous strategy. I've had a few textbook trades the last few days, the last week really. If we go to yesterday, we can have a look and see. I'll recap these really quickly while we're at it. So, So you can see where I've been buying in and whatever, but let's have a look now. So, I'm trying to think when I would have took these. So, I can't remember. I think I took a sell. So we had, I must have took a sell. Liquidity, yeah, sell. So we took a sell and bought up here. Nice. That's the move that we caught. So why did we take this? Why did we take this? We ended up, I remember I had a not so good entry on this. It was okay, but I had a not so good entry. I remember that. So we got the low to the high. Boom. So I entered a bit prematurely here. I really did. But it was okay in the end because if we draw in, I did, that was it. Right, I remember now. So it's all coming back to me. Long story short, I'm not going to draw it out. We had a trade here that could have been taken with basically this move up, swept liquidity. We had a retracement back in as I want, came out of equilibrium, came out of the order block, retraced back in, breaker structures downside, could have shorted this. So obviously there was an order block left in this area. And price came straight back into that order block. Swept liquidity, created a new order block, blah, blah, blah. So we had a double order block. So two confluences to the downside, including breaker structure, and a liquidity sweep. That gave us four confluences, which is why I was keen to enter that trade. Even though we didn't draw an equilibrium, I still had four confluences, so I was pretty confident at that point. And price came out of the order block. So wait, let me explain why I entered prematurely. I think I drew my order block a little bit long, and I scaled to the 1 minute as well. So in my eyes, price wicked out on this wick, came straight back in, and I entered because on the 1 minute it was like a little exit and an out. But I've learned always wait for 5 minute retracements because if I did, I would have had a better RR with a better entry. So if I wait for 5 minute, would have shorted that break of structure. Is this a short? I can't remember. This is a short. I hate this magnet. I like it sometimes as well though. Shorted, and if we look, if I drew my order block properly, price would have wicked in there as well. So we would have targeted, I think I did, I came out a bit early because I was busy in the day and had stuff to do, but ultimately would have targeted these liquidity lows. Stop loss just above liquidity, it almost a 1 to 3. That was the trade yesterday, almost. The realistic trade I actually pulled off was, I think I sold my second there, so it was a 1 to 2. But still not bad. But you can see textbook, liquidity sweep. Well, that's not the textbook one. I'll show you the textbook one. I'm getting carried away now, but we'll end this video then. Where was the textbook one? It was the day before, I think. Was it the day before? I don't think it was the day before. It was such a textbook one. How have I lost this? It was so good. I think this was it actually. Let's have a look. I can't remember, so you're gonna have to bear with me as I draw some of these out. Liquidity sweep. I don't know. I'm lost. Hold on a minute. 9:30 was there. Next day, 9:30 was here. That was today. Yeah, where is this trade? I've completely lost this. We're gonna leave that then where it is because it's clearly not the one I was been looking for. Oh, I think here it is. I think this is it. No, that's not it. I don't know. I've lost it, but there was a textbook one. I am not lying. I do promise. Oh, there it is. I knew it was here somewhere. I knew it was. I think. No, that's not it. don't know. Yeah, that's it. There it is. There it is. There it is. I know. So I knew that. I know that's not drawn in perfectly, but we're gonna get the idea. We're gonna get the idea. So price, swap liquidity, created an order block for us. Okay. Price created an order block. I think maybe was it better on? Oh, it's gonna make a squall over here. I hate it when it does that. Yeah, perfectly. Price created an order block. Okay. We can stay scaled on the fight. No, that's the one thing I dislike about looking at old trades is it makes you swipe, swipe, swipe. Okay, that's not it. Right. Price created an order block. We can also draw in equilibrium from the high to the low. Price came, swap liquidity, came out of the order block, came out of equilibrium. Yeah, that's our two confluences. Price retraced back in to the order block and retraced back into equilibrium. Break of structure to the upside, enter for a long. Yeah, probably the profit line would be somewhere but there. Stops there. Take profit. One, we'll do a 1-to-1. Probably at these highs here. Then take profit 2 would be these here. And I don't. Yeah, it did. It did hit them all eventually. So that was that. As you can see, this strategy does work. It is back tested to work. I don't know if any of you trade out there with this strategy, but it works. It's just about keeping the mentality and the psychology right, while also trying to be sensible and make good trades, stick to the rules. And yeah, I'll do another recap tomorrow probably.